I heard you wanted some more Cathay gameplay, and here we are with this replay courtesy of Calamity from the ODM clan, and it's Cathay versus Skaven, which on paper seems like a pretty tough matchup for Cathay, I think, from my perspective. But let's take a look at what he's got here. He's got Zhao Ming and a Jet Lion here, another Jet Lion over here, and tons of mobility. We've got Jade Lancers, Peasant Horsemen, 2 on each flank, I believe, with some Onyx Crowmen. Yep, 1 Onyx Crowman as well. 5 Peasant Spears, a couple more Jade Lancers here in the back. That Jade Lion? Or yeah, I guess these ones are not out on the flank. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Big, full stack, all in, lots of mobility. Absolutely love it. From the Skaven side, we see some Plague Monks, which is a pretty interesting choice here. Not just the meta Poison Wind and other, you know, weapons teams. There's no Natty Boobo's Sharpshooters. We do have some Storm Vermin, though. Definitely a popular pick right now. Rat Ogres, of course, good as ever. And we've got Skrull leading the way. Nice and cheap caster to allow Skaven to spend some. And also, you know, gets a theme bonus for the Plague Monks and Skrulks, so that's nice. Is it going to be good, though? Probably not. I mean, Plague Monks are ultimately fairly squishy, even if they have pretty good DPS. Not the worst DPS infantry in the game, but they're definitely not the best by any stretch. But yeah, they're going to eat a little charge here from the Peasant Horsemen, which is, you know, they're just Peasant Horsemen, so it's not going to do too much damage. They'll get counter-collapsed by, but you see that pulls the Rat Ogres away, allows the Crowmen to get in and tap those Globadiers, and things are getting underway very quickly. We're going to see the Jet Line get in position here, perhaps to put a Missile Mirror on those Globadiers if they were to get free, but it looks like, yeah, Crowman might start disintegrating here, so we'll probably see, yeah, Jet Lion also just charges in by itself. Zhao pops his transform in the center. He's going to dive in with that line as well, do some nice AoE damage, and then over on the far side here, this Rat Ogre actually gets a pretty bad engagement versus Jade Lancers and Onyx Crowman. That'll be pretty important later on, I think, get rid of the mobility. But Plague Monks getting into Long Spear is definitely going to be a great engagement for the Skaven. Yeah, you can see this Peasant Long Spear getting punished pretty heavily as the Wolf Rats move in. They're going to get counter-collapsed by the Jade Lancers, so lots of stuff happening all over the field here, but Poison Wind Globadiers, yeah, they're going to get a volley off at least momentarily before the Missile Mirror gets popped on them. That is going to come in and do a ton of damage, but immediately the reflection on the globes is going to come back and probably just kill the unit outright. Beautiful Dragon's Breath on those Storm Vermin as well. They've got this Jade Lion, or Jet Lion rather, fully surrounded, doing tons of armor-piercing anti-large damage, so gotta rush in some support here. Peasant Horsemen, I guess not Jade Lancers, but still Peasant Horsemen, better than nothing. It is still probably going to lead to the Jet Line getting crumbled out here, but we'll see. Give it a nice wide view. Looks like Cathay was able to prevail out on this flank here, collapse a bunch of units. Now moving those Jade Lancers back to try and get a rear charge on the squishy Plague Monks as the other more successful Jet Lion teams up with Zhao to try and break those Rat Ogres, get a decisive mobility advantage here so that the cavalry over on this far side can just dominate. But yeah, it's going to be an uphill charge into these Plague Monks. They keep getting interrupted as well by that Rat Ogre that has a melee attack order on them, so they didn't actually get a very good charge there. Skrulk also keeping up the summons, starting to provide more bodies of Clan Rats, and a really nice Rod of Corruption as well is going to do a big burst of AoE damage to Jade Lancers. And, yeah, Long Spears. Not the most expensive units in the world, but definitely anyone's game at this point. It's going to be very close. We've got more Jade Lancers getting good charges on Plague Monks. The ideal situation there, using those Crowmen to chase routing units, make sure those Globadiers can't come back. Peasant Horsemen also trying to bail out some of their brethren against those Wolf Rats, but yeah, engagements all over the field right now. Jade Lancers actually losing out after they got that kind of ineffective uphill charge finally, until more Jade Lancers show up to charge. One is still going to rout, but the Plague Monks now in a position to be punished to their low armor out in open space by those Lancers. Same thing, honestly. Rat Ogres are one unit that if you can get a good charge on them with Shock Cavalry, like here, they get caught flat-footed. Jade Lancers are going to get really nice value and should be able to finish this unit off no problem. So yeah, starting to get some cleanup around the periphery. The Skaven center still holding very strong, though. We've got some very healthy Storm Vermin here. One unit's been beat up pretty bad, but the other's doing just fine. Skrulk himself also is a menace, so definitely will have to be tangled with in the late game. But Jet Lion here still has plenty of HP. Lions don't actually cause terror, so they're not going to be... I mean, they do cause fear, which is nice, but only Zhao can come in and get those big terror routes. So he's going to have to be judicious about how he uses himself here. But anyway, yeah. Nice Dragon's Breath there. Some of those clan rats. Probably summon. Yeah, not long on the summon timer there, but still getting some good contact on Storm Vermin and on the Plague Monks. But yeah, looks like Zhao's going to go for the snipe attempt. Maybe. At least gets a good attack in there and then dives straight out. I don't think they ever fixed the attack animations for the Dragon siblings, but Zhao would arguably be maybe OP if they actually fixed his animations. He's quite good, but you see some attacks don't do as much damage as you might think they should, just due to the way the animation hitboxes are kind of misaligned. But anyway, yeah, big, healthy Skaven blob here, but everything else is going in Cathay's favor, and especially being able to hit some of these isolated units, try and route them off, is going to be quite nice. But a nice Rod of Corruption, as Cathay brings in a lot of units to fight this Skaven Doom blob. It's all going to get routed off, at least all the multi-model units, due to that Rod of Corruption. Let's check Skrulk's uses of his Liber Bubonicus, which is direct damage. Looks like he's used both of them. I'd imagine that's where most of the damage on Zhao came from. So it's nice to get that damage on Zhao, but of course he's also got his Van Braces. Did he bring the Van Braces? Surely he brought the Van Braces. Oh yeah, okay. Still got the Burning Van Braces here, so definitely can get a nice big proc of healing and damage resistance in the late game. So even though the balance power is pretty close, I think Cathay has a pretty good advantage at this point. Although, plenty of Storm Vermin here still supporting, and plenty of summons on the way as well. We see more clan rats being brought in to provide extra bodies. So, as we get in close and soak up some beautiful cinematics here. Down in Lustria, it looks like. Yeah, the anti-large armor piercing. Storm Vermin going to be tough targets for the Jet Lions. You can see this one is crumbling now. Very low on HP, even with the support of those Jade Lancers coming in. Yeah, unfortunately, that Jet Lion's not long for this world. The other one also struggling to a degree. But at this point, Cathay's leadership trying its best to hold. See if they can get some terror routes. Zhao comes down once again. He can get good contact on these Storm Vermin. He might be able to actually route them. They are not immune to psychology and relatively low leadership for elite infantry. But not looking great right now. Yeah, without the support units, Cathay might struggle a little bit, but it looks like the Jet Line got some pretty solid contact on Skrulk. Man, the Summon Clan Rats also, you know, they're on a timer, so as long as Zhao and Skrulk, or Zhao and the Lion, rather, can outlast. To that end, Zhao transforms into his human form, so he won't be subjected to the anti-large of the Storm Vermin. He's going to be a much smaller target as well, much harder to surround. Getting his big fancy AoE attacks, and still has plenty of capacity to blast with that Fire Breath, assuming he still has Winds of Magic left to use it. Skrulk hits another Rod of Corruption. You can see the Cathay units are just kind of... Ooh, they're going to charge on in with that Rod of Corruption active. That's probably going to kill both these Peasant Horsemen. And just a little Plague Breath, just to speed things up. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Zhao versus the world in the late game. Two Peasant Long Spears coming in, though. And Jet Line also just kind of hanging around the flanks. I don't know. I think he's trying to get some leadership debuffs by attacking in on the flanks here, obviously. Maybe get a 2v1 versus Skrulk if he can. But he's got to be careful that Jet Lion doesn't just get killed by the halberds here. I mean, it'll get ground down for sure in this combat. But, ooh, nice Dragon's Breath. Is it enough? If Zhao had his transform available right now, he could definitely get a terror route if he were able to hit it and then charge down in. But both sides using their breath spells to try and win this fight. Absolute scrap of the ages. Must be said, Skrulk is not like a pushover combatant. As far as caster lords go, he's actually got some pretty good offensive stats, especially. Yeah, decent weapon strength for sure. He's got that contaminated leadership debuff. Frenzy as well gives him pretty good melee attack, although even with him being quite tired, the exhaustion is going to affect Zhao's armor significantly, so that lack of AP won't be so much of an issue. But the Clutch Crowmen come in from the edge of the map. They are going to return from having chased routing units. You can see Zhao pops his escape transform. That will, of course, put him into the air and give a really nice opportunity. Scroll does a friendly fire plague breath that actually routes the storm vermin there. And the crowmen are able to just get a leadership win. Now Zhao, in his dragon form, should be more than a match for Skrulk, I would imagine. Yeah, he's got more armor, he's got more of everything. So, only 32 melee attack, though, versus Skrulk's 45 melee defense, so it's not as cut and dry as you might think. Let's fast forward through this late game. Single entity engagement, we can watch them kind of wail on each other ineffectively. You can see how Zhao's attack animations are potentially kind of just broken here. Yeah, the Plague Breath from Skrulk will help somewhat. But finally the Crowmen get in. You can see like 1 or 2 attack animations from Zhao actually connect. And the Crowmen are getting little chips of damage in as well. Yeah, a little bit. Even though they're not in the best surround, they're in a decent surround here. Skrulk scrapping. Gonna do his best, but ultimately falls to the might of Cathay and Calamity. Well played to him. Well played to Joy Boy as well. On the opposite side, definitely an enjoyable game. Down to the wire there. But, yeah, I really like the use of the Jet Lions here, honestly. Even though one doesn't end up paying for itself. You know, I guess we don't see the raw value from Missile Mirror. It's possible that actually does contribute a little bit more value on that. But at least the one does pay for itself, and just generally contributing some nice tactical value, some disruption, extra single entity punch as well. And it definitely makes a lot of sense to just go maximum mobility pretty much against the Skaven. They have some of the best anti-infantry tools in the game, so definitely makes sense for a faction that has a lot of kind of slow static infantry to try and go against that as much as possible. Yeah, the Onyx Crowmen, of course, one of them 244 kills, definitely contributes massively, super clutch in the late game. Skrulk himself, 150 kills, 2,000 damage dealt, definitely very respectable. Can't go wrong with Skrulk if you use him correctly. And Stormvermin Halberds, man, almost 2,000 value apiece on both of them, which is insane. Very, very good stuff. I feel like Stormvermin are having a day in the sun right now. Definitely been seeing them in a lot of different games, which is nice. It's nice to have an elite infantry unit that's viable, even if it's arguably the worst elite infantry unit purely based on quality, although it has the most number of unit models. Kind of Skaven in a nutshell for you. The Globadiers actually were well limited here. It's a rare game. You're not going to see them pay for themselves. One Rat Ogre still does, but the rest are also pretty well limited here, so nice game, well played to both players. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.